through established protocols demonstrates that the NSC system is designed to detect irregularities and act decisively to protect honest learners. Let me reiterate, we will not compromise the future of thousands of honest learners because of the actions of a few. We will not leave any stone unturned in ensuring accountability and safeguarding the credibility of the NSC certificate. In recognition of the seriousness of this matter and the need for clear independence, the Director General established the National Investigative Task Team last month. We have been clear from the start that the department would not conduct an investigation on this matter internally and that an independent process was essential to ensure public confidence. The NITT is chaired by Professor Schole, the former Dean of Faculty of Education in the University of Pretoria, who's seated right here with me. Mr. Brian Schrouder, who's the Deputy Chair of the NITT, and he's the former Superintendent General of the Western Cape Department of Education. Its members included education experts, labor, union representatives, SACA representation, and Umalusi as an observer. The task team's work was conducted independently, with the department providing logistical and technical support only, so not to interfere with the task team's deliberations. This independence is essential for public confidence and to Umalusi's oversight role in safeguarding the credibility of the NSC. To ensure meaningful investigation, the NITT interpreted its mandate to include establishing both the source of the breach and the spread and the extent of the breach, identifying the learners who accessed leaked materials, and recommending how to address the breach to protect the credibility of the 2025 NSC and to prevent reoccurrence. To make sure its findings are reliable, the NITT checked the facts in several ways. It looked at digital forensics, data patterns, additional marking checks, interviews with learners, invigilators, chief markers, and relevant officials. They'll be going into deeper detail with you on this kind of work. This means that the findings are based on evidence and that they are fair and balanced. This approach strengthens the confidence in the interim conclusions that they are evidence-led and they are proportionate. It must also be noted that other examination irregularities do occur. However, irregularities not linked to this specific breach fall outside of the NITT's mandate, and they are dealt with through the established Provincial Examination Irregularities Committee and the National Examination Irregularities Committee. Based on the evidence thus far, the NITT reports that the breach appears to have started with the department's secure exam paper system environment. This is where question papers are set, handled, and stored. The NITT further reports that the department official whose child wrote the NSC 2025 exam is alleged to have been involved and that the learner shared material further. The NITT is still verifying whether the second official was involved. Importantly, the forensic work is still ongoing to confirm exactly how and from which computer the papers were taken. That work has been expanded and investigations with law enforcement are continuing. Based on the evidence available to date, the NITT reported that the breach was contained to 40 candidates in the Tshwane area and therefore is localized. 40 is a very small number in comparison to the 900,000 candidates who wrote the NSC examinations in 2025. In communicating these findings, the department will avoid publicly naming the schools. The NITT looked at school patterns only to help spot unusual results. If wrongdoing is confirmed, it will be linked to individuals and not blamed on whole schools unless there's clear evidence of that. The NITT's message to us is clear. Because the number of implicated candidates is so small, the NSC remains credible. This allows us to release the results for the overwhelming majority while the official process runs for those who are implicated. As our usual system-wide checks did not show signs that the exams were affected more widely, supporting the conclusion that the matter was contained and not widespread. The NITT reported that evidence currently confirms that 7 papers were leaked, which were limited to English home language, Maths Paper 1 and 2, and Physical Sciences. The NITT also reported that the leaked materials were shared through a combination of digital, physical means, including USB drives, electronic messaging, screenshots, and printed copies. The task team cautioned us as a department that evolving technologies, including AI-enabled tools, can be used to disguise misconduct. Now, this reinforces the need for us to modernize for the prevention, detection, and invigilation control. The NITT's recommendation results for the implicated 40 candidates. On the NITT's recommendation, results for the 40 implicated candidates will be withheld temporarily while the official irregularity processes are completed. As part of these processes, each of the 40 candidates will be subjected to an independent hearing. Where a candidate is found guilty by an independent presiding officer, this finding, together with the recommendations, will go to the Provincial Examination Irregularity Committee, thereafter the National Examination Irregularity Committee, and ultimately Umalusi will be the final arbiter. Candidates found guilty may have their results of their relevant subjects nullified and may be further sanctioned. Sanctions include bars from writing those subjects up to 3 examination sessions. This is due process. Umalusi indicated that it is satisfied with the NITT's interim findings and recommendations and that these have been accepted as the basis for protecting the integrity of the exams as a whole. Going forward, Umalusi will continue monitoring developments and will ensure correct processing so that non-implicated candidates receive their results while any verified new implications are actioned appropriately. To be clear, examination irregularities not linked to a specific breach continue to be processed through the normal processing. Now, I want to address the issue of consequence management, security strengthening, and ongoing oversight. The department has already taken steps to address the alleged internal involvement of its own officials, including the precautionary suspension of suspected officials earlier in this process. In addition, the department is implementing the NITT's recommendations to institute investigations and disciplinary proceedings against implicated officials. Additionally, the NITT will continue forensic investigations into unlawful access and distribution in order for us to support the criminal proceedings where evidence warrants it. To those who compromise the NSC, they don't only break rules, but they also attempt to steal opportunities from honest learners. We will pursue accountability through every appropriate disciplinary process, including the criminal proceedings. As indicated previously, the matter has been reported to the South African Police Service in order for this to be investigated for its criminal elements. Additionally, a forensic service provider was appointed to investigate electronic devices, relevant evidence that may have facilitated this breach. The forensic scope has been expanded to establish the extraction source, the timeline, and to corroborate any involvement of any additional suspects as applicable. What we are also doing is we are strengthening our security and invigilation in line with the NITT's recommendations. So, on our side, we will tighten security from start to finish, especially on how question papers are handled, stored, managed, and in secure environments. We will increase monitoring in high-risk centers based on evidence. We will standardize checks before candidates enter exam rooms. We will act on weak invigilation and strengthen oversight while recognizing the practical limits of some venues. We will update our controls for new technology risks, including wearables and technologically enabled tactics used to hide cheating. We are also strengthening digital security in the examinations environment, tightening who can access systems, using secure ways to move files, strengthening encryption, and controlling the use of USB drives. The NITT's work will continue, and they will elaborate on this. This includes triangulation, investigative marking, and additional interviews. This is important for the sake of thoroughness. The NITT may refine its recommendations, particularly on strengthening security within secure examination environments. Where further verified developments emerge, the department and Umalusi retain the right and the ability to act accordingly consistent with due process and the integrity of the system. Before I close and I hand over to the NITT Chair, I would like to provide an update on the EduMarks matter where the 2024 NSC candidate data was unlawfully traded ahead of the official results release. The DBE initiated a forensic cybersecurity investigation into how the 2024 results data was handled and where the system was vulnerable. The investigation made clear recommendations, and we have put a practical plan in place to act on them. Put simply, we are tightening security across the entire results process. We are strengthening control over how results are distributed. We are requiring the use of approved secure file system. We are tightening access and login controls. We are strengthening encryption and data protection. And we are putting stronger safeguards in place to prevent data from being copied or leaked, backed by clear protocols and ongoing cybersecurity training. For the 2025 NSC results, all universities, through Universities South Africa and the media, will only receive results under embargo 24 hours before the official release. And going forward, every partner in the results supply chain will be subject to vulnerability audits because protecting the integrity of the NSC is an absolute non-negotiable. In closing, I want to thank the NITT for its independent work, its rigorous work, including sustained work throughout the festive period. I also want to thank the department officials and the professionals who supported the investigation so that we can make sure that the integrity of the NSC is protected. South Africa can have confidence that the NSC remains credible. Irregularities are detected, investigated thoroughly, and addressed through firm accountability while protecting the integrity of the qualification for the overwhelming majority of honest learners. Finally, I want to thank every candidate who remained honest, focused throughout this process. Congratulations on reaching this point. It is a significant achievement. To those who may not have been successful, please do not be disheartened. This is not the end of your journey. There are pathways to improve your results and keep moving forward. As we look ahead to the release of the NSC results on Monday, I want to encourage you to keep believing in your potential. Whether you go on to further study or to the world of work, you now step into a new chapter with the opportunity to build livelihoods and achieve great things and to contribute to the growth of South Africa.